It is. Oh! Woo! Man! I gotta be honest, guys, I'm a little beat down. It's the last day of work. It's always the roughest one. It's been a long week. We are going racing. We're going test and tuning. This will strictly be a business trip. Like I said in the video before, probably won't have any, you know, outside video. Just be in-car only. I'm not going to make a ton of passes. We're just going to make, you know, 6 or 7, 8 would be nice. Depends on how crowded it is. You know, we ain't going to probably be messing around a whole lot. We'll try and be up there when it's track hot at 4:30, ready to rip, suited and booted and ready to rip. And just make 2 or 3 hot laps, you know, make a couple, 3 and then maybe 3 and then maybe a 2 and see where we're at and get home at a reasonable hour. Since we'll be by ourselves, we just see if we can improve on that 25 a little bit and see if we got 2-step working and stuff like that. So now I got to put the street tires back on, got to air up the other slicks, put some fuel in it, put on it, just then we'll be ready to go. Yeah, got my money. Think I got everything. Got helmet. Hey, America. Thanks, Don. This is actually fairly comfortable. I took the cheek pads out and it's actually pretty, the only complaint I have is the crazy strap this thing has. It's super long. It's like the tongue on a giraffe. But, oh well, it's pretty comfortable though. I kind of like it. Anyway, we'll see you guys in the next clip. Probably going to be worse, but we'll know when we check it. We are in Amor, Trojan. We're ready to do some stuff. Here we are, Trojan. We made it. Does not look very crowded. Now, of course, it never looks crowded. Then it starts getting a little crowded, but not hardly anyone here, which, yeah, that's fine by me. There you go, guys. That's the process. Whenever I bring the fail TD, add the anti-roll links and the front tires. So that's why it takes me so long to get ready. It takes so long to get ready to leave. We got a lot of work to do, but that's all right. I've been doing it like this forever. So anyway, it's good for you. All right, I'm gonna rest for a minute, maybe eat a sandwich. We'll go up and look at making a pass. There it is, the bag of sadness. Peanut butter jelly time. Well, I've just been informed that I will not get the groove, which...
You stick on with full tree, sir?
Sir?
Stick on with full tree?
Yeah, that's fine. So that's very disappointing. So we're going to have to turn it all the way down. See what happens. my disappointed face. It's always next week. Oh crap. We're headed home. I mean, anyway. No Whataburger, no nothing. Just blah. Oh well, we'll get them next time. Just one of them days. It's blah 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 time. It's kind of old school. Since we only have 4 time slips, I'm going to show them all to you at once. But before we do that, I just want to take a quick second and talk about the situation at the track that's been going on for the last 6 or 7 months. A lot of times on the channel or in the moment, it bleeds across that I'm very aggravated and upset, and to be honest, there's been a couple times I have been. Yesterday, I wasn't technically upset. I was disappointed and mildly frustrated. Part of the frustration is that from my perspective, if you're a track owner, and I like Joey, and I'll get to that in just a second. If you're going to have a TNT that caters to a specific tire and or group, it really needs to be in in the post that you put up on your Facebook page or whatever that we are specifically targeting these people for our test and tune. Having said that, knowing what I know about those situations, I typically message Joey ahead of time and ask him if slicks are going to be okay and all this. And he replies back, hey, we're only doing radial. I did not message him. I should have known better because they're having a radial grudge race Saturday. So I should have clarified with him. He could have put it in his post, and some of that is on him, but some of it's on me too. Now, having said that, when I talked to Joey about it, he's straightforward, he's upfront, he's not, a jerk or anything about it. He understands my side of it, and I understand his side of it. We represent maybe 1% of his customer base. And at the end of the day, if you're a business owner, you're not going to make money by catering to the 1%. I understand that. He caters to the grudge guys. That's his passion, is grudge racing. And he caters to those guys. There are tracks shutting down all over this country. And if you haven't noticed, then you're not going to the track a lot. There's tracks being sold, there's tracks being shut down. And you can argue that happens all the time. But it seems to be happening at, I don't want to say an alarming rate, but new tracks aren't opening. That's what I'm getting at. We're losing tracks, not gaining tracks. So whatever he has to do to make money, then I'm behind. I mean, as a fan of the sport, I want to see Atmore succeed. I don't want it to be just my personal playground, because that's not how it works. By the time I left, there were quite a few cars there. He probably made some money, which is good. I mean, there were spectators there. There were cars there. More cars are coming in. More spectators coming in. So that's great for him. For people that say, well, get a set of radials, it doesn't matter. Dwayne, the starting line guy, said the stick radial cars are worse than stick slick cars as far as tearing up the starting line. So you're going to get moved out of the groove, even if you show up on radials. That's just the way it is. That's just part of being a stick shift guy. That some tracks, or our track, they care about their starting line. They worry about it. That's why the track's so good. I mean, I feel that our track that Atmore is really good. I've been blessed over the years to race at ECD, which always had a great starting line, or it had people that took pride in the starting line. It's the same thing at Atmore. They take a lot of pride in that starting line being good. This isn't 20, 30 years ago where, you're lucky to be able to come to the track, just having this place. Now they take pride in being the best, or trying to be the best. So that's how you get business. You don't get a lot of business if your starting line sucks, because people don't want to go race there. So that's a double-edged sword, because it's frustrating for me, because I want that good starting line. I also see their point. They can't have a bunch of stick cars up there digging the starting line, and we do. I mean, I talked to Dwayne, the starting line guy, for probably 30 minutes. We were talking about different stuff and things, and he sees where I'm coming from. He sympathizes, but it's a business. And next weekend they're having a gasher race, and both him and Joey said, you are more than welcome. You guys come up, we will fit you in. Even if you want to come in on race day, we will fit you in to make some test and tune passes. We will make that happen for you, because we understand that you guys come up here, and you guys, people like watching stick cars, and so we'll do what we can. We will get you in to make some passes, even on the race day for gasser. So he could just say, hey man, I don't care, I ain't worried about what you think. But that's not how he is. So I don't want anyone to think that Atmore or Joey or management, that they're bad people or they don't care, because they do. It's just, it is a business, and you have to cater to what's making the money. The days of making money off bracket racers and stuff, at least they're just not really there. I go there, I see the crowds. It is what it is. So having said all that, having said all that, that's why I was more disappointed in the situation than I was angry at any specific person or anything like that, or this is bull crap because the Radial guys. Because hey, those guys don't want to see me up there tearing start line up. Just like I don't want to see a bunch of hard tire cars tearing start line up or dragging water all over the place. It's it's just the way it is. So, so that's that. On the good side of it is, car drove up there perfect. Car drove home perfect. We didn't miss any gears. So we didn't have any issues. I misplaced my hood pins. I had no idea where I put those. I thought they're gone. So that's why I always carry zip ties. Zip tie, where the hood wouldn't come off. Oh well. So yeah, I mean there was some positives. I mean, if you want to call it a moral victory, and then it just wasn't our day. We had a great trip the trip before, and this trip was it was disappointing. It wasn't, would I rather have not spent that money driving up there and stuff and paying it? Yeah. But I made 4 passes, didn't miss any gears, and the 2-step didn't work. I was probably more aggravated about that than anything. So yeah, that situation, I'm done with what's going on in there. I'm going to dig into that, not just, oh, okay, now it's magically working. No, something's going on. We're gonna have to do some investigating on that. So before the next trip, I'm gonna have that, even if it means changing the box, the module, change 2-step out. I'll change all that out. I'll just take it out and put stuff out of the love book because I know it works. We got to look in, when I was talking about the ignition being intermittent or whatever, it wasn't on the balancer. It's when you hold, just, when I hook the light up, I just put it against my hand to make sure it's firing. That's just make sure the ground and power are right. I just do it on my hand. So I put it on my hand and it like, bink, bing, 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 bing. And the car literally wouldn't even run if that was representative of what was going on. I was just like, that's why I checked it against brain. I put it on brain and it was fine. So something's going on with distributor, could be the plug wire. Find out, maybe. So something's going on somewhere. We've got a problem that we have got to figure out that could be hampering our performance. That's definitely something going on with the 2-step. We got something going on in the ignition system. We got to figure that out. So, and also the rear end. We want to have the rear end done and in the car. Spoiler alert, that ring gear that I put on that spool was a 456. I couldn't help it. I couldn't help it. It was laying there, and I'm just, after driving the car, I'm like, God, this 410 sucks in this car. It just sucks. So putting the 456 in, can always change back to the 410. Can always do that. We've got a few other little things planned, but right now 456 is going in. So let's look at the time slips, and then we'll be done with it. First pass. 159, 740 at 92.73. I left super soft, and that's what we got. The DA will be listed here in this little clip too. Our second pass went back up there, was a little bit more aggressive. It just blew the tires completely off the car. Let it rest for a little bit, for about an hour, and came back around, and this is that's when I was talking to Dwayne and Joey in between these 2 passes. They also had a few bracket cars up there for the record. Automatics made them get out of the groove too with slicks. None of those guys were making passes for me to get in behind really. So went up there, I left way too soft, and it just, that crap. Then I went back up there, tried to leave about 5 grand or so, and it just blew tires off. So 788. So I decided to just pack up and come home. So that's where we ended up at. 4 passes, no missed gears, no times to talk about. Let's put a pin in it. We got all the track talk out of the way. We got time slips out of the way. Thanks for commenting. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for all the ways you guys support the channel. We couldn't do it without you, and we certainly wouldn't want to, but especially, thanks for watching. And until next time on the Substandard Leader and Fox Body videos on this here man's YouTube, one and only Lincoln's Ford drag vans, and as always, fight the good fight against Dr. Fear. We'll see you guys in the next video.